Hello everybody, welcome back to the Collector's Vault. My name is Mike, and today I have a bit of a discussion about PSA. Now, for a while, they actually were closed during the whole X-Parasite invasion, and apparently they just recently have announced, and I believe this is pretty valid and true, that they are accepting orders now for PSA grading, and it's only for, I think it's basically just not for anything that's bulk related, so no bulk grading. Personally, I wouldn't even do bulk grading because I think although it's much more affordable than ordinary grading, I think it can take like upwards of like 1 to maybe even 2 years just because of how much traffic of cards they have coming in and out. So I think I decided to do like a preparation for my next PSA submission, and I have a nice little pile here of both Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Let me see if I can separate them. So yeah, I got a nice little pile of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and I kind of thought it'd be kind of fun to show you guys what I've been collecting over the last couple months and years. Maybe even go into like some detail of the cards, tell a little story of how I got them, maybe how much I got them for, how long ago. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun to show you guys some of these really cool looking cards. If you guys are a fan of Pokemon and not a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, or you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh and not a fan of Pokemon, I might have to split this into 2 videos anyway. So if you want to watch both, that's great. If not, I'll probably have like a part 1 and a part 2 showing the Pokemon cards and the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and you guys can watch either one of those or both. But please watch both. I would really appreciate that. And I guess with the last said, I'll see you guys over at the table. Alright guys, we actually have 2 really cool piles of cards that I want to show you guys that I am contemplating of sending out to PSA. Now, I'm saying contemplating because I don't really know. It costs money to send them out to PSA, and obviously, I'm tempted to just send them all out, but I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool just to kind of show you guys what I have right now. I have a pile of Pokemon and a pile of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was thinking like maybe I can let you guys maybe convince me on what cards are like, don't bother sending that out to PSA. So I think it'd be kind of fun. So I was thinking like as I'm showing some of these cards. Write down in the comments below if if you want the card to be graded, like yes, send that card out to be graded, or if it's a card that you don't want to get graded, or you think it's not worth it, yeah, let me know. Because I know what cards are worth and not worth being graded, but at the same time, it's like I still want them to get graded because I want to just see what they get, and it does obviously increase their value in most cases. So yeah, I guess you know what? I think I'm gonna start with the Yu-Gi-Oh for now, and then I'll use Pokemon, and I might have to make like a separate video, but we'll see. So let's start off with Yu-Gi-Oh, and these are in no real particular order. I have the lighting ready for you guys. So the first card is a Xyz-Dragon Cannon. Now I do have a PSA 9 of this, first edition Magician's Force. The thing is that I think I mentioned in one of my Collector's Hall videos that I came across one of these in a dollar binder, or like the $2 binder at one of my local shops, and I'm like, wow, $2 for this card, like I can't stand to that. So I figured like, you know what, let me see if I can get it graded, and if it actually does, grade it like a 10, I'll have a 10. I think it might get a 9, but I'm hoping for a 10, so that'd be kind of cool. I gotta find a better way to show you these cards. I don't want to spoil anything, but anyway. So yeah, one of these I think it's this is definitely I think on like the lower end as far as like getting cards graded. But I feel like it'd be kind of fun to get graded and see if I can get it as a 10. Maybe I'll do it like this. Yeah. So next card is a Butte, a Ultimate Rare Cyber Dark Dragon from Cyber Dark Impact, obviously. This is a really nice specimen of a first edition Ulti Cyber Dragon, and these are really hard to come by in mint condition. And I believe this is actually a card I picked up for around like $120, which maybe at the time seemed like a lot, but I mean this card's just right now I think these are like really hard to find anywhere like online, especially like in near mint condition. It looks like the ulti might be a little bit shifted. You can kind of tell that here are the stars. The ulti on the stars doesn't quite line up, but I don't know if that actually will affect the grade at all, because technically the card, actually you can really see it right here. See that? The ulti symbol for dark doesn't really line up. I guess that means technically it's shifted like right there. You can kind of see it. It doesn't properly line up with the window. So I hope that doesn't affect the grade. I mean, because besides that, the card is pretty flawless. So really, really looking forward to see this get like a 9 or potentially a 10. Which I think it will get a 10. Let's see what's next. And oh, this is actually, I don't want to spoil this, but I actually have 2 of these guys. So I have 2 Magician's Force Dark Paladins. This is actually one of my favorite cards in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I was never, I mean, I like Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is obviously awesome, but I was more of a Dark Magician fan, and I am also not a Buster Blader fan, but Dark Paladin, man, I don't know, there's just something about this card. I just absolutely adore the artwork on these, and these are both flawless. These I got like 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago. Maybe even more. It was in a collection that I purchased from someone. It was a nice big Yu-Gi-Oh collection, and among many of the high-end cards he has were these 2 beauties, and I was so thrilled, and they were in just incredible shape. So this one, you can tell the name has shifted a little bit, so I don't know if that will get. I hope that it doesn't affect the grade. It might. Centering wise, it looks like these are actually pretty good. This one, it looks like the. Actually, now that I think about it, on this one, I think the top is a little thicker than the bottom, so this might be off-center, which is kind of unfortunate, but again, besides that, the card is pretty flawless. I think that's just the dirt up here. I hope that's dirt. You know what? That is dirt, because there was nothing up here before. You know what? Let me clean that off really quick.
3 hours later.
I'm sorry about that. I actually had to take the card out and kind of clean a little piece of dirt, which I don't want on the card if I'm saying in the PSA. Hopefully, if I were to send it in, they would clean off for me, but regardless, yeah, these are pretty nice specimens, and again, if these get a 9, I'll be happy if they get. At this point, I think concerning the centering, actually, this one looks like it's centered. This is the thing. This is one that's off-centered. I think this one's centered actually pretty well. So this one might get a 10. This one has it. Maybe not. Bottom left corner has some whitening. But still really nice. But I think if I can get a 9 or an 8, I guess I'll be happy for these guys. Regardless, it's still really cool. Sorry for the delay, guys. Anyway, so moving on, we now have a beautiful specimen of Black Luster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. I do have a second one of these, but unfortunately it is in light play condition, and I really don't feel like it getting graded because I know it's going to grade probably pretty like on the lower end, like maybe like a 5 or a 6 if I'm lucky. Maybe even a 7, because I think the only problem with that one is like a few little scuffs here and there, some problems along the bottom part. But this one's actually like on the corner or the edges. But this one's actually like really flawless in my opinion. So I think I got this card a long time ago, but I don't remember exactly when. So I just always had it, and I feel like it's definitely worth being graded and seeing how high it gets. Let's see what we got here. Next is this you might have also seen in one of my collector's haul videos. This was purchased from a collection from about several months ago. There were a lot of cool cards in that collection, but this is probably the one that really stood out, and it is a Ultimate Rare Hamon First Edition. This card is from Shadow of Infinity, and him along with the other of the Sacred Beast cards, Raviel and Uriah in Ultimate Rare First Edition, they're incredibly expensive right now, especially because they got a structure deck announced. So these cards have gone up tremendously. Now this card is definitely by no means near mint. I would say it's definitely in like the light plated to near mint range because the back looks like okay. You can definitely tell the corners and edges are not perfect. Like right there is a little bit of whitening, and over here there's definitely some scuffs up top. And in my experience, it seems like Yu-Gi-Oh cards are actually, they get graded pretty critically at PSA. So I'm basically kind of concerned of what this might get, and that's why I'm curious enough to see what it gets graded, because I had friends and myself get cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards graded, and they get the cards look flawless to me, and they'll score like a 7 or an 8 or even lower. One example is my Stardust Dragon Ghost Rare. I don't know how that got a 5. I really have no idea how it got a 5. And then I've seen my friends send in some really nice cards, and I think, these cards might get like a 6 or a 7, and because of some of the blemishes I see, and then they came back like a 9. And so I think Yu-Gi-Oh is a little inconsistent sometimes, at least in my experience with PSA. But regardless, this is a beautiful card, and I want to see exactly what it grades. I'd be very happy if this got a 7 or higher, but I think a 7 is probably the best I'll get from that. Let's see what's next. Yes, Dark Dragon Ultimate Rare. Now this is I don't want to say newer, but it's probably one of the most modern of the cards that I have here, because this came out. Gosh, it's probably been about like 6 years or whatever when this Astro Pack came out, or no, sorry, this is Turbo Pack. So it might be 8 years, maybe 8 years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm old. 8 or 9. I forget when this pack came out, but I remember on several occasions I've gone to the store with my buddy Pete back when we were playing all the time, before adulthood kicked in, and he pulled this card I think at least twice, and I have actually gotten one out of those 2 times. I've gotten the Sangan. I think Sangan came in the exact same pack, but he always got the Dark Dragon. I never got it, so eventually I picked one up. I wish I picked up more because these cards were actually really affordable, and now these cards have shot up in price. But it is just a beautiful, beautiful card that I think this card can get at least a 9. So I want to see exactly what PSA thinks. Back to some, again, relatively like not old, but these are old enough now. Black Rose Dragon Ultimate Rare First Edition. This I actually got in a trade mini years ago from a friend of a friend, a nice guy, and he just had this sitting in his binder, no sleeve, and I panicked, so I said, "Man, please look at that," and I put it in a sleeve immediately. And then I was able to get it off this individual in a trade, and I think this card might have a thin line here, and this might be thicker, so the centering might be off in the back, but I think this card could probably get a 9. If it gets a 10, I'll be incredibly surprised, but I don't think it will. I think I'm being more conservative, thinking it'll get a 9, and yeah, I really want to see what this beauty comes back as. I think next is another one of the signer dragons, like Black Rose, and yes, Power Tool Dragon. I would say probably on the lower end as far as like the other signer dragons go. Like you have Black Rose, Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, Ancient Fairy Dragon. I think Power Tool is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum as far as like popularity and price wise. But believe it or not, at one point I actually got this at a Yugioh regional in Philadelphia. And I saw it in one of the cases, and it was like, I saw it, and I asked the vendor, "Hey, may I see this?" And I'm like, "Wow, this card's in incredible shape." And he said it's only $10. And at first I'm like, well, then what's wrong with the card if it's only $10? He said nothing. I looked at it, looks pretty flawless to me, and apparently I quickly checked my phone, and yeah, these were like basically only $10. I could not believe it. And then when I showed my friends, like, "Guys, I got this for $10," and they're like, "Well, you just lost money." And now I think these are worth much more than that, and so I figure if this card can grade high enough, it'll obviously be worth much more than the $10 I spent on it, and I guess minus the $20 for getting it graded. But the point is, this is a really, really nice, iconic card from the 5Ds era, and I really want to see how well it grades. One of my other favorites, Black Skull Dragon Metal Raiders. This is the North American print, not the Asian American print, which I think a lot of people get confused by. This is a card I got off of, I think, Marketplace, actually. A trustworthy individual just had a bunch of cards he was looking to get rid of. I think he had to pay some bills. I said I'd help him out. I actually got a bunch of red eyes off the guy, too. Those, like, anniversary pack red eyes. And among the collection was one of these beauties, and it was just, I was blown away when I saw it. It was just absolutely breathtaking, and I said I have to have it. I think it might be a little bit thicker on this end and a little bit thinner on this end, so center on the back might not be perfect, but surface-wise and corners-wise, this card is just immaculate, and I hope it gets a 9 at a minimum. If it gets an 8, I'll be satisfied, but I really hope this gets a minimum of a 9. Praying for a 10, like most people are from PSA. Probably one of the oldest cards I have. And this one is the Lightning Golem. This one I actually picked up in a collection purchase last year, I think. I think I showed this off in one of my Collector's Haul videos. And yeah, this is a really awesome specimen of one of the Ultimate Rare Hero monsters. No, I don't have as many as I would love. I would love to get more of the Ultimate Rare First Edition Hero monsters. I'm actually not a fan of heroes at all in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I just love the artwork and I love the history behind these cards. And I just love how, like, when it comes to GX, it's all about the Ultimate Rare First Edition Hero cards, as well as the Ghost Rare cards too. But like Ultimate Rare First Edition is kind of like these are like the highlights of GX. So the heroes obviously fall in that category. And but yeah, really really cool card, and I just want to see what it grades for. Coming down to the end of the line, what's this? Ooh. This is actually a really funny story. So this is an original Metal Raiders Mirror Force. This should be North American print. Really, really clean card. Maybe like a couple imperfections that you might notice. I think even centering, but centering wise looks pretty clean. all these little dirt particles on these sleeves. Look at it on the card. But yeah, I was kind of just thinking like this is just I think I had this card. I think I got this card 10 years ago. It was actually at the Boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey, in one of those many little like silly like collectible shops you see on the Boardwalk. And I actually wish I went to these places more often because they always have these like random goodies. And the one guy happened to have one of these. He was just sitting there, and I'm like, is that? I'm thinking to myself, that's an original Mirror Force. And I think I paid like $20 for this card, which is just it's just mind blowing. $20. Even 10 years ago, $20 for one of these, maybe that was like considered to be expensive. But back then, 20 years ago, I'm pretty sure Mirror Force was still a really playable card. So that's why it was like so. It was like I don't know. It kind of just it's mind blowing that I paid $20 for this, and to this day, it's definitely one of the old. I guess alongside the Black Skull Dragon, one of the oldest cards that I have. So yeah, pretty nice, and I hope it does. I think this can probably score like a 9, maybe a 10 if I'm lucky. All right, 2 more cards left, and I don't remember what these are. Ooh, okay. Chaos Dragon Envoy the End, First Edition, Invasion of Chaos. And this is a card I think I did get from a friend of a friend at one of the little card shops I went to. I guess this is years ago when this card was maybe like $50 or less. I think if I remember correctly, I traded a Ghost Rare First Edition Felgrand, that like rank 8 Felgrand guy from Shadow Specters, and I got this, and I was pretty happy with it. And I guess ultimately it is the better trade. I think the only scuff I see is this little piece down here, which I'm a little bummed out about. But besides that, I think this could probably score like an 8, which I'll be really happy with. Maybe a 7, depending on how bad they think this little corner is. So yeah, we'll see. But again, this is just a really like awesome, iconic card from one of the greatest sets of all time for Yu-Gi-Oh! Invasion of Chaos, and kind of like alongside the Black Luster Soldier that I showed you. And yeah, I just want to see what it goes for. Again, hoping for 8 minimum. I guess 7. Oops, 7 or 8 minimum. But yeah, we'll see. And finally, this is the Rainbow Dragon I have, First Edition from Tactical Evolution. A gorgeous specimen. Oh, it's dark particles. Dirt particles. So this is also from a collection that I got maybe about like 2 years ago, and it was from an individual from my neighborhood. He just said he was done with the game, and he had apparently he collected the Crystal Beasts. Lucky for me. Now, unfortunately, fortunately he bought a bunch of Tactical Evolution First Edition boxes, and they were all open. But obviously, as he went through all these in this collection, was like they were Ultimate Rare Rainbow Ruins, Ultimate Rare Topaz Tigers, all these crazy ultimate rare cards from Tactical Evolution, and I think some from Force of the Breaker. So the majority of them were from Tactical Evolution, and I was praying. Oh no, I'm sorry. The majority of them were from Force of the Breaker because that's where the Crystal Beasts were. Tactical Evolution was just Rainbow Dragon. I'm sorry, but so he bought a lot of Force of the Breaker, excuse me, and some Topaz Tigers, Rainbow Ruins. I think rare values, but no Ultimate Rare Sapphire Pegasus, which is unfortunate. However, he said he did pull one of these when he got Tactical Evolution, and he kept it in very, very good condition. And I do believe this could get a grade 9 minimum. And so, yeah, this is definitely like not one of the most treasurable cards that I have. I mean, I do. Look at that shine. I do just love it. This is like this is history in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the very first Ghost Rare. It's like one of the very first like initial trophy cards. The lottery card that you wanted to pull out of those boxes. I mean, obviously, even back then, Ultimate Rare First Edition were really nice, but yeah, this is just like the Rainbow Dragon is just it's one of those big boys. So guys, I hope you guys like this little collection that I'm talking. So basically, kind of like as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, which of these cards do you think is not worth getting graded, or which ones do you think I should get graded? Because like I said, I don't know if I'm sending all these out, but these are all the ones I would love to get sent out. And if it comes down to money, I might just have to maybe keep some home for a little while, and maybe I'll get the other ones graded later. So if you don't mind, just leave a comment down below and let me know what cards are your favorite. Which cards do you think would be full? I think like there are definitely some that I'm going to get graded regardless. Like Rainbow Dragon for sure. Some of these guys for sure. But yeah, just if just we'll do like a little voting thing. Just let me down below if there's any of these cards that you think I should just hold off on, don't get graded, or I'd be foolish enough to not get graded. Yeah, just let me know in the comments below, guys. And thanks again for watching. And I think I'll make a second video for the Pokemon cards, and that'll be a lot of fun going over these too. So I'll catch you guys in the Pokemon video. So yeah, I'll see you then. Take it easy.